I will extol thee, O Lord, for thou hast lifted me up, and thou hast made my foes to rejoice over me.
And has not made my foes to rejoice over me. Go ahead.
O Lord my God, I cry unto thee, and thou hast healed me.
He said, I cried unto thee, and you healed me. What else have you done for me?
O Lord, thou hast brought up my soul from the grave.
Oh, now that's a little more clear. It didn't say hell, right? But it still said soul, right? But we know what it's talking about. When it said hell, it was talking about the grave, wasn't it? That was clear. He said, O Lord, thou hast brought up my soul from the grave. Go ahead.
Thou hast kept me alive, that I should not go down to the pit.
He said, you done kept me alive. In other words, I died and resurrected. You made me stay alive. Well, I didn't go down to the pit. See, that's why the Bible even speaks about a second death. Because the first death is going to hell, just the grave. But the second death is going to hell, and it's called hellfire, and it's forever. See, the first death is not permanent. You can get up from that one according to what Jesus did by his mercy and his grace, being a sin offering for us. But the second death is what's going to be permanent. Won't be no getting out of that one. That's the one you got to avoid. So that's what he's saying here. He said, O Lord, thou hast brought up my soul from the grave. Or we, just like he said in Psalm 16, you brought my soul up from hell. So that lets you know hell clearly refers to the grave, don't it? Clearly it do. But now, let's go further. Go to Daniel 12. Daniel 12. See, just like heaven means different things. You can be in the clouds, and that's called heaven. But you're still not in heaven where the Father is. And Jesus sitting on the right hand. That's why the title is Hell, Hell, Hell. Daniel 12. See, all this information is here so we can do one thing, that is, do what's necessary to get into God's kingdom. Fear him and obey him so we can get into God's kingdom. That's why he's telling us all this stuff. He wants us to know. That's the only thing important. Daniel 12 and verse 1. Okay, go ahead.
And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people.
See, it's always Michael. He always is the one that go to battle for Israel. He's obviously the warring angel. That's his job. Just like he kicked Satan out. Now this is talking about at the end of time. That's what it said at that time. Matter of fact, you got some smart brothers with their opinions. They want to say everything been fulfilled. They want to do away with the abomination of desolation. They want to do away with, like Daniel 11. They say, well, that's all was fulfilled in the past. Look, Daniel 11 take you from, this is how God can operate. He can take you from the beginning of time all the way to the end in a matter of verses. And Daniel 11 take you all the way from the Medo-Persian Empire, the Medes part of the king. It take you from the Medes, through the Persians, through the Greeks, to the Romans, to the end of the world. Daniel 11 do that. That's why when you get to Daniel 12, it's just a continuation. There wasn't no chapters. He said, at that time, at what time? Well, if you go back in Daniel 11, you'll see at what time. That's why, like I said, there wasn't no chapters. This was all just written. Man put chapters in, that's good, so we can identify where we at. But obviously, this is a continuation from something, right? Yep. And at that time, at what time? Matter of fact, just read verse 45. Go ahead.
And he shall plant the tabernacles of his palace between the seas in the glorious holy mountain. Yet he shall come to his end, and none shall help him.
See, that's when the man moved to Jerusalem, to the holy place. Jesus prophesied Matthew 24:15. The abomination of desolation is going to stand in the holy place. Revelation 11 talk about the man moving to the holy city for 42 months. Daniel is talking about it, which Jesus told you, he spoke about it. He said he shall plant the tabernacles of his palace. This is the abomination of desolation. Where are you going to plant them at? His palace between the seas. The seas refer to people. Where? In the glorious holy mountain, in Jerusalem. And then he going to come to his end and none shall help. Like like Paul told you about Jesus in 2 Thessalonians 2, where he talked about the man of sin going to move to the temple of God, and Jesus going to destroy that man with the brightness of his coming. with the spirit of his mouth and the brightness of his gun. So that's him right here. Yet he shall come to his end, and none shall help him. See, this is at the end of the world when this haven't happened yet.
That's right.
Verse 45 have not happened yet, but you got these smart brothers with their opinion talking about it's been fulfilled. You better wake up. But go ahead, verse 1, read it again.
And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which shall stand for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book.
See, he said at that time. So when we at the end of the world, the man that moved into the temple, that's when it's time, the world about to end now. We about to get delivered. He said at that time Michael gonna stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of our people. And then he went further and said, there shall be a time of trouble like as never was since there was a nation on this earth. And it'll never be a bad time like this again. Well, Jesus described it in Matthew 24 and verse 21. He said it's going to be great tribulation. There's not been since the beginning of the world to the same time. So it's going to be one bad time that ain't never been before, never will be again, right? So that means Daniel and Jesus talk about the same thing, which the Bible is full of this. It's going to be one bad time like this, right? Have not happened yet. But you get people say, oh, no, it's always tribulation. You ain't had the great tribulation. We going through hell now. But it ain't the great hell tribulation. It ain't that bad, right? But go ahead. So he said, it's going time of trouble says never was since there was a nation, even to the same time. At that time, that's when God going to start delivering his people. Go ahead, verse 2.
And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake.
Now we all the way down to the resurrection now. That show you we at the end of the world for sure, right? And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake. Because that's what time it is. See, we right up on this now. We right at the end. All we got to do is hold on. So whatever you're going through, just hold on and do God's will a little longer so you can make it through. Because you at the door now. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to what?
And some to shame and everlasting contempt.
Oh, you mean he going to wake you up and give you shame? And how much contempt? How much contempt is that?
Everlasting.
That's a long time for contempt, isn't it? So now if everlasting life really means you're going to live forever and enjoy and happiness, right? Then everlasting contempt must mean the opposite, don't it?
That's right.
You can't have everlasting life. Say, yeah, I'm going to get eternal life. I'm going to be with God forever. It's going to be beautiful. Okay, but then deny that it's a such thing as everlasting lake of fire. Because that's what he's talking about. You can't deny it. That's what he said. He going to wake you up and he going to give you what you got coming. That's what he's telling you. Read verse 2 again, because y'all don't hear me.
And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake.
Many are going to sleep in the dust of the earth, going to wake what?
Some to everlasting life.
Some to everlasting life. That's good, right? What about the bad side?
And some to shame and everlasting contempt.
See, we can't cut the half a verse off and no read about the negative stuff. That's what preachers want to do. They want to talk about all the nice, pretty stuff. We might as well finish that verse, right?
That's right.
Get the full message. Some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. That's some bad stuff. See, we dealing with it. We about to get to the top of the line hell. We done dealt with it being a low condition, period, right? We done dealt with it being even the grave. When you die and go to the grave, that's hell. But see, that ain't got nothing on this top of the line hell. This everlasting contempt. Let's get to it. Go to John 5. John 5. That's the hell you got to avoid. That's the low point you don't want to make. John 5, couple of verses, 28, 29. John 5, 28 and 29. See, you can't water it down, though. See, by doing that, people don't have the proper respect for God, and they will keep on in their wicked ways. Maybe if you tell them the full story, people will listen and say, wait a minute, I don't want that. Because I'm going to be honest with you. this is the only reason I'm here today. That's the only reason I'm here today. I like doing what I'm doing. I like serving God now. But when I first started, it wasn't that I just was in love. Oh, I just love doing this. Oh, I just love the Lord because he heard my cry. Look, it wasn't that way. I started getting scared of what the Lord has said. I said, wait a minute. Lord is not playing. So I had to get it together. But now, go ahead. John 5:28. Go ahead.
Marvel not at this, for the hour is coming, in which all that are in the grave shall hear his voice.
Now, Jesus said, look, the hour is coming in the which all. That shows you people don't die and go somewhere to heaven or hell. Because, again, nobody's in hell fire. The only hell that you do go to when you die, we already crossed that bridge, is the grave, right? That's the hell you go to, but you just sleep there. You ain't being tormented with no pitchfork by the devil. The devil is on the earth trying to get you to go to that place where y'all can be tormented together in the end. But that ain't happened yet. So right now you just go to the grave. He said, for the hour is coming in which all that are in the graves shall hear his voice. They got to wake up, just like Jesus gave a parable in Luke 16. We can't even read all of this. About the rich man and Lazarus. See, that showed you that the man went to the grave, but then after the grave, he woke up. Lazarus woke up and was with the Lord in the kingdom, in Abraham's bosom. The rich man woke up. He was in that fire, tormented. And he said, send me a cup of water, something to cool me in this flame. And it was a parable, but Jesus told him, Jesus was the one speaking the parable. He said he was talking to Abraham. He said, he told Abraham, send me somebody to cool my tongue. I'm tormented in this flame. And he said, sorry, can't be done. Once you in that hell, you can't get out. He said, we over here, we can't come over there where y'all at, and y'all over there, y'all can't come over there, over here, where we at. He said, it's a great gulf fix. That lets you know it's parallel. That means hell was right here in this vicinity, and the kingdom was over here in this vicinity. And you can look over there and see the people in the fire. And obviously they can look over there and see y'all enjoying, having a good time. That's going to be hell. It's going to be something else. John 5:28. Read it again.
Marvel not at this, for the hour is come, in which all that are in the grave shall hear his voice.
See, all that are in the graves, though, they going to do what?
Shall
hear his voice. And then what they going to do?
And shall come forth.
Uh-huh.
They that have done good unto the resurrection of life.
Oh, that's the good side, but we can't leave out the bad side, can we? Go ahead.
And they that have done evil unto the resurrection of damnation.
See, everybody going to get woke up. But it's called the resurrection of damnation. See, he literally, now we see clearly waking you up. That's why people say, oh yeah, he going to wake you up, but he going to send you back to sleep. It's okay. He going to just send you back to sleep. They just watering it down. Don't sound like he's sending you back to sleep if he say it's the resurrection of damnation. Don't make no sense. But everybody got to wake up, right? All that in the grave's going to hear his voice. Just like Daniel told, they that sleep in the dust going to come forth. Some the everlasting life, some the everlasting shame and everlasting contempt. Where Jesus quoting the same thing. This is identical, isn't it? They that have done good, they're going to come forth unto the resurrection of life. And they that have done evil unto the resurrection of damnation. You don't have to interpret that. But now let's go further. We're almost done. Revelation 20. We're going to go to the end and see when this resurrection is going to take place. Revelation 20. We're going to pick it up at verse 11. Revelation 20 and 11. Okay. Go ahead and read.